And now it's time for LattMackey playing Splatterhouse. Take it away.
Hello. Thank you, Robo, so much. Hello, everybody. Okay, we're going to try and follow some Big John after some Mega Man. I don't know if we can. We'll do our best. Hello, everybody. My name's LattMackey, and this is going to be Splatterhouse, as they said, on the TurboGrafx-16, or the PC Engine, as it was known in Japan and other parts of the world. For those of you that may not be familiar with this console, don't worry, you're not the only one. This console actually had some really cool features. One of the things is there's turbo switches actually built into the controller. For this game, it's one of the few games we're actually not really going to use it. It doesn't really help us in the speed running of anything, but it's pretty cool to know that the console had that built in. So if you see people using turbo, totally accepted, totally fine. Leaderboards are totally down with that because it's built into the console. Here's the game we're going to be playing today. This is Splatterhouse, and the reason I wanted to show the card is because they kind of came on these like credit card sized things. They're just kind of fun to collect and pretty cool. The size, unfortunately, though, made it so you really couldn't save any data. There's no battery backups or anything like that on the games themselves. This is a pretty quick speed run, so with a little bit of luck, we're going to finish it under 20 minutes, maybe even the 15, 16 minute area. We'll see. Just want to let you know, this game is like, it's a port of an arcade game, and try to put yourself back. Late 80s, early 90s. Maybe you weren't born yet, but there were a lot of great horror culture and horror movies of the time period. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. This game pays a lot of homage to that culture, those movies, everything that went along with the horror of the late 80s and early 90s, maybe even some in the 70s, things like that. So we're going to get started here. I'm going to give a countdown, and you don't hear any audio on stream right now because there is none in this title sequence. And you can tell that the demo is not very good at this game. Hopefully we'll play it a little bit better than the demo. So here we go. Let's count it down, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Here we go. So the setup for this game is that you are walking along, I guess, a dark, cold night with your girlfriend, whose name is Jennifer, and you see a mansion, and you decide to stop at the mansion. And apparently, as soon as you knock on the door, you wake up all of a sudden, and you're wearing a mask, and you don't know why. So, this is Splatterhouse. We're going to be doing a lot of kicking and jumping and sliding, and the reason we're doing this is because it's actually faster to do it this way. The slide is basically the most powerful attack in this game, and it does twice the amount of damage that punching or kicking or anything else does like that. The thing also about sliding is that it moves you a lot faster through the game than anything else. Now, if you'll notice, this is actually just by the quickness in Rick's punching is just by pressing the button. It's just by mashing. So it's one of the things where it's like, oh, this is cool. It's a turbo system, but you really don't necessarily need it for this game, interestingly enough. A lot of this game in the first 5 levels is just kind of set. There's not a ton of RNG in the first 5 levels of this game. But as we get further on in the run, you'll notice that the RNG gets to be a little bit more heavy as things start to happen. So that is it for stage 1. Now, as we move through, you'll notice that my health does get replenished, but only by 2 pieces. You have 5 pieces of health. You can take 5 hits, and then you're dead. In the arcade game, this is a very punishing and a very challenging arcade game. And you only get 1 health refreshed in the arcade game. So at least as they ported this thing to the home console, they were a little bit more generous to us at home. And you'll notice that I'm jumping and kicking and sliding and all of that kind of stuff. You'll notice I'm holding a 2x4. Sadly, the 2x4 does not help us with any of the speed or anything like that. But I will tell you, it's really fun to hit enemies with. So look at this. Wow, right against the wall. Now, just imagine yourself being like 9 or 10 years old, and this is the early 90s. This was like the most amazing fun game ever because you got to like smash these enemies against a wall, and it was just like one of the coolest graphic things. It was just a really fun moment. Every time I play this, I never get tired of hitting the enemies with the 2x4. The nostalgia is pretty real for this game. You'll notice also that a lot of this is kind of an auto-scroller. It's not exactly an auto-scroller. So, like if you're playing like Super Mario Brothers 3, the auto-scroll just keeps going and going and going and going until you die or you finish the level. In this game, a couple of levels actually have that idea, but you can stop the auto-scroll if you're on one side of the screen. So this is actually the boss of level 2. And yes, it is a room, and yes, it's attacking you. And yes, I'm about to bare fist a couple of knives. So here we go. We'll give it a try here. See what happens as I avoid some of these things. I do get a slide in because it does do twice the damage. You do have to beat the chair first. Here's a knife. And yes, right out of thin air. Hey, I got the actually. So that's pretty cool. And we're going to take care of a window. Why not? Oh, geez. And just like that, I'm going to stand over to one side of the room so the chandelier, as it falls, does not hit me, because in the arcade game, it just automatically kills you. In this game, at least, it only does just a little bit of damage. This is a perfect time. We're ending stage 2. As we're moving on to stage 3, why don't we go for a donation or two here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, got a couple of left over from the last one, which didn't get a chance to get through. So, Silver Knight, thank you very much for the $20. Right, Big J happy. And we are Big J happy. That was a fantastic run, and we are very happy. Luna is best princess. Well, not just a statement of fact, but Luna is best princess donated $10 and said, been eagerly awaiting the Big John block all week. All the best to everybody, and let's keep the fun going. And indeed, you can keep the Big John fun going, because there is a donation incentive to play the Wacky World of Miniature Golf. Donation incentive which we are getting towards, although we're still about $4,000 away. So keep them coming, guys. Thanks very much.
And thank you all who have donated to such an important cause. That's the reason we're all getting together here, is to really raise money for an important cause like Alzheimer's. So thank you all who have done that. And just like that, with a shotgun, we are done with another stage of this game. On to stage 4. As you noticed, a lot of the attacks and the mechanics there are kind of predetermined, because there's not a whole lot of RNG in these first 5 stages, as I mentioned. These spears don't actually need them at all for the speed run, but I'll tell you, they're really fun to throw at things. So, why not grab them, spear something up? I don't know. Is there any movie or some sort of horror thing that happened that used a spear to beat, like, I don't know, whatever these things are, demons, monsters, whatever you want to call them? Not familiar with it, but I'm sure it exists somewhere in some sort of horror movies at some point.
Oh, I was thinking of Jaws, actually.
There you go. Okay. Oh, Jaws. Perfect. There you go. Yeah. Like, good call, Robo. So this is the next down. This one's definitely, you notice the screen is scrolling without me scrolling. I can actually stop that scroll if I just stand to the left of the screen. Now, as a speed run, you really don't want to do that. So, but I'm going to keep it going. Here we're introducing some bats. And just like in any other game, bats are the worst. There was something about the 8/16-bit era of bats that, they're awful. Everything about them. At least they're a little bit more predetermined in this game, and it's not as rough as it can be. Now, this is the mirror room, and kind of a cool effect here. You see Rick appears in the mirrors, and I'll show you here just as the music kicks in. TurboGrafx-16 had some great soundtracks, and one of the things you have to do if you speedrun this game is you have to dance to the mirrors with the beat. It's a rite of passage as far as speedrunning goes this game. So if you ever want to pick up this game, learn to dance, come up with your own moves, create your own choreography. It's all part of the game. You'll notice I'm actually playing this on the Japanese version. I have a PC Engine, so that's what I play it on. There's a couple of regional differences, interestingly enough, between the TurboGrafx-16 and the PC Engine. One of the big ones being is that Rick is wearing a white mask in this one. In the US version of this game on the TurboGrafx-16, he's actually wearing a red mask, probably for intellectual property reasons. Somebody probably didn't want to get sued here in the States, but who does? So this is the boss. Some of my favorite music in the entire game is in this church here. And this actually gets censored in the US version. You don't see the crosses or anything like that. Typical US, especially the time period. So, and we're going to cleaver this thing up. Oh, geez, I just missed. That's okay, though. And the cleaver does do twice the amount of damage, so it's actually faster to do here. There's a little clip/glitch you can get here. It's a little bit challenging to get there. It's a little bit RNG-ish. So there we go. Okay. And just like that, we're going to be done with stage 5. And now here's where the real speed run begins. I'm sorry, stage 4. There's a very long cutscene here for no apparent reason I can't figure out. So this is a great time to read 1 or 2 donations before we move on to the next level.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So we have Irish Dalek, who's donated $20 and says, 2 great causes. Time to kick Alzheimer's out and golf at ESA. Great work, Big John. It's also gone to the golfing incentive. We have Pineapple Bob, who's donated $5. Thank you very much for that. And we have Mum and Dad B, who's put a donation in, which is for a future run, but it reads, Go Ginger Ninja, beats your world record, buddy. So thank you very much for those donations, guys.
Perfect. Now, stage 5. Here's where the RNG begins. There's going to be a bunch of chairs here. I don't know what order. I don't know how they're going to attack. And I'm going to try not to die on them. That's the idea here. I'm taking this just a bit safe because, honestly, those chairs can do anything, and it's super scary. Now, in this room, this is where a lot of speedruns go to die. There is some... I think that the RNG is somewhat based off their positioning. I'm just taking a guess. We do have a great task by Easy Games at this game, and a lot of the movements and the enemies and stuff are based off of your positioning and how you move towards them and everything like that. Not always sure how these guys react, so we're gonna go now. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna take an intentional death here. I know it's gonna look a little bit weird, but we want to actually I'll take it on the next round. But we want to fully health back up. So the nice thing is, depending on where you die, the intentional death does not take very long. So you'll see here, I'm going to walk into an enemy as fast as I possibly can to get back to full health, which will make the boss in this stage go a lot faster. Now, this room is kind of interesting. There's going to be this like scarecrow witch thing. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it reanimates all of these like Walking Dead skeletons. So it's pretty. So I want to hit it before it actually gives the command to reanimate these things here. Okay, we did. We got it. Cool. We're good. Okay. You'll notice they didn't come back to... Oh, geez. Because I was able to get it. Now, we're off to... This is, depending on who... I saw a dog developer in the chat. This is one of the most challenging rooms in the speedrun. And it's for a number of different reasons, but it's because of the way that these enemies... Ooh, geez. They react to where you are. That was a little bit off. I missed a little bit. So we're going to have to improvise just a little bit. No big deal. But that witch up in the top, she's dropping skeleton heads, and you got to watch out because it's a little bit scojis. Okay, we're good. Life is okay. Now, we're off to... This is the boss of this level, and there is a 1 cycle we can do, a 2 cycle we can do, or a 3 cycle we can do. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go for the 1 cycle. But hopefully not die. But, we'll see what happens. We're going for it. Here we go. Going to stop for just a second here. Your girlfriend's an alien. Watch out. This is Jennifer.
And you meet a pretty girl and you think you get on, and it turns out she's an alien.
So I'm dating an alien. Okay, so we're gonna get the 2 cycle. No worries. We missed by 1 hit. Just missed it by pixels, but we're okay. We're totally fine. Thankfully, I'm gonna take it a little bit safer just to be safe. Oh, geez. And I just died. Well, there we go. So much for safeness. Well, guess what? You get to see your girlfriend turn into an alien again. It's all good. Thankfully, we can make it work. This is a great time for a donation if you got one.
Yeah, I like that. We can make it work. Change. We do have a donation. We have an awesome donation from Junko Enoshima Puhuhu. And it says, "Howdy, Lafu Mackerel. Sean here from the ESA donation channel, dropping this to show you some love. You've got the best community on Twitch. Good luck on the run, and know that Dog and Zar are silently judging you." Doesn't sound that silent, but okay. Less than 3. Crystal Wen, OPOP.
Oh, Sean, thank you so much for the dono and your volunteer work for making this whole thing happen. For those of you that don't know, these marathons do not happen without wonderful volunteers like you here right now on hosting, and also out there at the donation station, all those places. Thank you, all the volunteers who are making this work and making this thing happen. Okay, this is stage 6, and if you thought there wasn't enough RNG there with the chairs that you saw, this stage is all RNG, and this can be a real challenge. And once again, if you're just learning the run, or if you're doing this game as a casual playthrough, oh man, this level is not your friend. I'm just going to tell you that right now. The way that these things spawn, where they spawn, how they spawn, and how many of them spawn is basically random. There's another caveat to it in that if they spawn, if part of them spawns on screen, they will stay. If they go off screen and then come back on screen, they will stay on screen until you kill it. And I'm not sure what the sprite limit is. I don't believe I've ever hit it, but they can be really tough, and they like to play with your runs. I'm gonna do my best to... What Dog Developer says, who's also a speedrunner of this game, is that, you really have to be smartly aggressive here because, well, here we go. We got a bunch of them on stream right now, and that's just not good. I don't know how many were there. There was like 6 there. There was quite a few. I gotta figure out what the sprite limit is because I'm not sure what it is, but man, you can get a lot of these things on. Okay, so we're at the boss now. This is good. We're actually in a good spot. I'm gonna. Okay. Give me just a second here. I'm going to try to fit in. I don't want to die. Oh, man. Got a little bit lucky there. I'll take it. Okay, good. Woo, we didn't die. If you die there, you lose about a minute while you're playing this game. So I always call this stage gross and tough, but you can come up with your own euphemism that you'd like. It's pretty gross. So this is the final stage. Folks, we are on the final stage. And now, after all of that RNG fest, we go back to like straight, everything is the same. Every single time you play this game, it's going to be exactly the same. But the nice thing is it has a really cool song, a great soundtrack moment towards the end when you're fighting the final boss here. We'll get in just a second. Yes, those, whatever they are, they're on fire. They're literally flaming it up. I don't know what, I don't even know what these things are. We got to come up with a name. Anybody got any name they want to name these enemies? I'm sure it's in an instruction or a booklet somewhere, but...
Nah, that's boring. Just donate $5 and then you can officially name them and it'll become
There
canon.
you go. Naming incentive. Perfect thinking. That's see, thinking. I like it. Okay. This is the final boss, and it's really cool. It's very similar to the arcade version. Oh, no, we got hit. That's good. But the boss has these giant hands that thankfully are pretty easy to avoid. But the rocks that you see flying up, those are a bit RNG. I'm not 100% sure where those will... They always spawn somewhere different, but I think they're based on your positioning. And then the hands kind of always do the same thing. They're just hands. There's going to be 6 cycles here because I'm going to take it a little bit safer because of the health situation. Okey-doke. And here comes another one. But I mean, just this music, it really like sets the tone really well. Sets the tone really well. Okay, we're going to hope we get a little bit lucky here. Down to 1 health. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen at this time. We need to get a little lucky with the with where the rocks are coming. Hey, we did it. Okay, time is coming up. Time is coming up. It's when I lose control of Rick. I'll tell you that in just a second. Everything is worked out. And here is time. Hey, look, we did game over. So because this game is like, it's based on an arcade game and a port, a lot of times we do talk about it in terms of 1cc, meaning you can clear it on 1 credit without a continue, you know? And that's really, especially if you're just starting to get into this game or learn the game, it's a really great standard to use. Hey, can I 1cc the game? And then kind of go from there. It's a really fun, quick game. Even if you're playing it casually, it probably won't take you more than a couple hours, but I'd highly suggest there's a lot of ways you can get a hold of the game nowadays. Virtual console, it's on the Namco Museum. You can play it on Switch. There is tons of different ways, and it's a really fun, really great game. Really good speed run. I don't even know if I did it justice, but it really is quite fun. I hope you enjoy it. First of all, I want to thank ESA for having me and then letting me show off the TurboGrafx-16. If you're at all interested in the TurboGrafx-16 or Splatterhouse or any of this stuff, we actually have a TurboGrafx-16 Discord, and I promise you we're all nice. We don't bite. It's a great conversation if you're all interested in this console. I know in Europe there, you may not have had as much access to it as we had in the States, which was not much to begin with as well. But it's got a great library of games that they go above and beyond just shooters and stuff like that. There's a lot of platformers and games like this. So if you're at all interested, join us on the TurboGrafx-16 Discord. You can probably find it on the speedrun.com leaderboards. We link it all there. So let's keep raising some money, folks. We got a great cause here where I know we're over 30,000 now. So let's keep this thing going and enjoy the rest of your marathon. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Yeah, that was a fantastic run. In fact, we are over $33,000.
Yes! Woohoo, let's keep it going.
Amazing. Yeah, we crossed it during your run. It was incredible. So thank you so much, guys. Please do keep it going. Coming up next, we've got Marky Dan, who's going to be running Wizards and Warriors 3, Kuros Visions of Power on the NES. So yeah, stick around for that. But we're going to have a quick intermission, so get up, stretch your legs, get a water, a cup of tea, whatever's your poison. And yeah, please do keep donating and supporting an amazing cause, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.